Okay. We'll call this meeting of the Arundel Planning Board to order, today being January 12th, 2017, at 7:04 PM in the Mildred L. Day School Library. And we have a couple of items. We have an approval of the agenda, approval of minutes for November 10th and December 8th of 2016. Public hearings. The first public hearing is for Kimball Gravel Pit, a renewal of a conditional use permit. We then have two pending applications, one for Lovejoy subdivision, a preliminary major subdivision review, and item number 2, Kimball Gravel Pit renewal of the conditional use permit. Under new business, we have the Du Bois Automobile Salvage conditional use renewal, and Frinkle Pod Farms major conditional use pre-app for expansion of an existing farm retail operation. With enough time, we will then look at the amendments to the land use ordinance and continue to review the existing shoreland zoning. I would like to suggest that we, under the pending applications, we move the Kimball Gravel Pit to item number 1, so that our fine gentleman from way up north can drive home and get there at a reasonable hour.
Second.
Anything else anybody has for the agenda? Need a motion to approve the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor? It's unanimous.
With the changes.
With the changes, yes. First item is for the approval of minutes of November 10th. Anybody have any comments on it?
I'll move we approve as written.
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Yep.
Motion's unanimous. December 8th, 2016. We had some public hearings that day. We may have to table that. I don't know if anybody has any of the minutes. Okay.
Move the table.
We'll table it until the next meeting.
Which public hearings were there, sir? Do you recall?
Not right off the top of the head.
Okay.
I believe the first one we had was on the format. We had 2 of them that day.
Yeah, I would like those approved at some point, because we do have a special town meeting on the 30th.
It's not posted yet.
The public hearings were on, first one was on the Zoot contractor yard at 128 Long Cabin Road. The second one was on Zoot contractor yard, Four Fathers.
Yes, I
I
did.
think it was just those 2.
That's why I don't remember, and I wasn't here for those meetings.
I was. I do recall it,
Okay.
yeah.
So we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting, and we'll get that resolved.
As long as we have quorum, because I think Roger was here. You weren't.
Yeah, I wasn't here. that
I'm
day.
just saying is,
Quorum of members.
because we just had only 4 of us.
So
barely.
all 4 of you will have to be here at the next meeting.
Roger won't be. I'm trying to refer to.
But it would require the majority of those present.
Right.
Okay, first item up, public hearing, Kimball
Through the
Gravel.
chair?
Yes.
You want to do January 5th, since you have it?
It's not on the agenda, so I don't know if we can.
No.
Can somebody make an amendment to propose to put it on the agenda, so we can get it out the door?
I will make that motion.
Okay, the motion has been made to add January 5th approval of the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Discussion.
Yep, now we have discussion. We have to approve the motion first to get it, to put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay? All those in favor?
Yeah.
Yep, okay, it's unanimous. Marty, you have discussion?
Yeah, I thought we could add that since it wasn't a meeting on per se, that we didn't have
Well, that was
That's
what-
why I've asked the question.
Okay. That's what I thought, because it was just a workshop.
Correct.
I didn't think it was a regular meeting.
It's a regular meeting advertised.
It was advertised as a regular meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Stand corrected.
All meetings have to be advertised.
Okay, any other discussion on the,
Yes,
I had a question on item 2. The latter part of that first paragraph under item 2, Bassett, Lowry, and Ganong. I think it should say, "We're not convinced that comprehensive limits for animal species is recommended to be devised," and even more skeptical
yeah?
that they could be
okay.
enforced. I don't think it rules the way it's written.
I was going to comment on the same
How do you
section.
wanna revise that?
Add the word "not" between "were" and "convinced."
Yep.
You could make "were" into a contraction as well.
Thank you. I'll go with your first suggestion on that.
Okay.
This is not the time for me to make a suggestion as an alternative approach to that, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then I had something in item 4, the end of that, the line turning provided, it says, provided more than enough notice of the legislation. I don't think this is a legislative body. Is it regulation, is it rules, what is it?
Well, there's legislation passed by the town body, by the town meeting, which is the legislative act.
Okay, so it was
The
done,
town
it was done by town meeting, okay,
Town meeting is the legislative act.
okay.
Okay. Any other corrections, comments? Hearing none, we need a motion.
Move to approve as amended.
And a second?
Yep.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve as amended. All those in favor?
Yes.
Marty.
Right.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Abstain.
And one abstention.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Now on to Kimball Gravel Pit. I will call the public hearing to order at 7:11. Renewal of an existing 4-acre mineral extraction operation located at 346 Thompson Road, tax map 20, lot 7, in the R4 district. John and Diana Kimball are the property owners, Sargent Corporation is the lessee, and Chipley is the authorized agent. Does anybody from the public have any comments to make? Any questions? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:11.
Make it 7.
Yeah,
Make it 7:12. Okay. First item under pending applications is Kimball Gravel Pit renewal of the conditional use permit, a renewal of an existing 4-acre mineral extraction operation located at 346 Thompson Road, tax map 20, lot 7, in the R4 district. John and Diana Kimball are the property owners, Sargent Corporation is the lessee, and Chip Lade is the authorized agent. Where have I heard that before? Okay. Does the board have any comments, any suggestions? You have before you,
Has anybody else had a chance to read the staff notes about the proposal and the proposed landscaping buffer and the
right, that, and, yeah, I was gonna,
potential issues relating to topsoil and source of trees and things like that?
I do know that I had heard the landowner was going to be transplanting and putting in some trees, but,
I can shed some light on that if you like.
yes, please.
Okay, after our site walk, we adjusted the plan here to include a 25-foot buffer as needed, 6 feet high. We'll construct it mainly out of sand, but we do have on site a significant amount of topsoil. Some that has been saved from the original stripping, but we've also imported quite a bit that is over on this side. There's a big, as you pull into the pit on the right-hand side, there's a big mound there. That's all topsoil. we'll use that on the top, and then, we'll go ahead and transplant, some pine trees from other parts of the, 70-acre parcel, on there.
Being resourceful?
Pardon?
You're being resourceful?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have the equipment to do the site work,
Yeah.
and the trees are available.
That's what I'm saying,
And we
you're
can,
doing,
we can pick them up and transplant them, and,
which is great.
I'd like to hear from the town planner on that.
Yeah, I think there's two things on that. First of all, we can't forget that we have to get a letter from the granddaughter permitting this. Because only the abutting property owner can give that waiver to go from 100 to 25 feet.
it's in the deed, it's in the copy of the deed. That, I'm gonna provide you with a copy of that.
Yeah.
And it's referred to as reference as state statute, basically it's the gravel pit regulations,
Right.
state DEP, which, this permits us to go up to, reduce that buffer to 10 feet. And we're not coming in with near that.
Yeah, I know, but ours is 25, that's the problem.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the deed gives permission to go at least to 10 feet. And that's with the agreement with the abutter.
Okay.
What we're proposing is still keeping our 50-foot buffer, a 100-foot buffer from the pit, for the mineral extraction. And we'll get that berm within 25 feet.
It's up to the board if the deed is enough, I mean, our rates call for a letter, if the deed is sufficient, then,
So we have a copy of the deed.
the copy of the deed was supplied, it should be in the packet. It was part of the application.
Quick question, you mentioned 100 feet, is that from the property line?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what was, we originally submitted back, I think, in 1991.
Yep.
And we haven't changed that. We've kept that buffer from the extraction. What happened was, when this lot was cleared,
Yep.
before it was taken, before it was deeded out,
Yep.
Mr. Kimball cleared this lot in preparation for the house. No one was going to transfer. Didn't want any pine trees falling on the house, so it got cleared. In this deed, I think it's on, third page. Says this transfer is subject to the grantees hereby agreeing to a reduction of the width of the natural buffer strip on the grantor's remaining adjacent property, conveyed to 10 feet from any excavation on the grantor's property pursuant to Title 38 MRSA 490D. So the DEP regulations require that to be notarized at the registry of deeds. So, which we're not going to that route.
The second thing, Mr. Chairman, is, yeah, you had asked, my concern, of course, is we're dealing with sand and gravel. On your plan, you'd shown 4 inches of topsoil, and quite frankly, that's not gonna be enough to keep any pine trees alive.
No,
especially-
that's for the reclamation area here.
Yeah.
The berm.
Well, the burn should, go ahead.
We'll go ahead and put the topsoil, a significant amount there for, either we pocket plant those with, digging out a significant area and put topsoil in there, or we'll put the top 2 or 3 feet on that as topsoil. I mean, it's incumbent on us to make sure, next time I come back before here and do a site walk, that there's a significant buffer.
Right, agreed. The other thing that I'm a little concerned, and this was part of the adequate soil, was if you're gonna dig wild trees, or basically trees in the field, the root systems can be spread out a lot more. They aren't in a good root ball, they haven't had good root pruning, so it's gonna be tough, and you're gonna have some significant dieback on some of these trees. And they would have to be replaced immediately. And if that doesn't work, you're gonna have to get a nursery stock that's been basically root pruned for such a condition. But I feel a little better if we had adequate topsoil.
I say, we got, on the right, full end, we got thousands of yards, probably 2,000 yards of topsoil that we can do.
Yeah. Not many pockets doesn't sound like it.
No, but I mean, we could always do that, but it's, if we put 2 or 3 feet of topsoil on top of that berm, it should be significant.
It's 3 foot. Adequate.
Probably, yeah. More than that. Depends on what you're pulling. You're pulling white pines, pitch pines, you get some pitch pine out there, those are probably, well, scraggly with the best, the most, the roughest and toughest for that kind of condition.
White pine or Scott pine?
Yeah, I got either.
That would be sufficient.
I prefer nursery stock, but, you know, we don't just have to replace what dies. And eventually, just as
What about what's the rest of the board think about the 2 to 3 foot height? I know that we had agreed that something less than 20 feet tall was okay, given the relationship of the applicant to, the applicant to the adjacent property owner. But it's gonna take, you start with a 2 foot wide pine, it's gonna take a year, 15 years before that gets to any significant height.
There's also just the elevations, the house is set back and the pit is down low, so it's not much.
Yeah, I'm just asking, I thought we were talking about starting, 5 or 6 foot tall trees, but I don't know what other people who are on sidewalk think.
I'm thinking that given the relationship between the landowner and I mean, it was granddaughter? Right. The familial relationship that is there. I think the tree should be taller, but I'm willing to let it go. If the granddaughter is okay with it. And that's the question, is the granddaughter okay with it?
I think it should be a minimum of at least 4 to 5 for survival.
Okay.
Well, that's the other thing.
And I would have to
Deer will
defer to
be
your, because I.
Deer will be a 2 foot, 3 foot tall pine in 2 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'd have to defer to you guys, it's like, I don't grow tulips, so the deer won't come into my yard for that reason.
What, tulips?
Tulips,
They don't like tulips?
no. They clean them out quick.
Oh, you mean they enjoy it?
They love it. It's like getting the filet mignon.
But Chip, you didn't have, you showed double row, but
Yeah.
on
Well, usually.
they're gonna be staggered.
We usually stagger them.
Yeah, what are you looking at, 10 feet, 15 feet on the center?
Even closer than that,
Okay.
you know, just because I'm looking at putting a buffer up, so I would rather have them a little closer, that way they're staggered. And there again, my experience has been, you go with the 2 to 3 foot ones, they're gonna take off a lot better than if you go ahead and try to transplant a 4 to 5 footer, unless you could buy the nursery stock, which would be tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
We don't take that much material out of there every year, so, it'd be quite an investment to put that kind of buffer in there. That's why we wanted to go with the shorter ones, they have a better survival rate, in my experience. Or we can also put some bare root stuff in there also to beef it up even more. They survive very well, and once they get established, they grow really fast.
Which variable? What?
I mean, the school one, the seedlings.
I think we need a skeleton of
Yeah.
at least 4, I think 4, 3 to 4. How would 3 to 4 work for you guys? 3 to 4 foot, 3 to 4, 15 feet on center, stagger? Can you deal with that one?
You have anything, Larry?
Mr. Chairman, a question. When does this come back up for renewal?
3 years.
3 more years.
Oh,
3 more
3
years.
Okay.
Well,
All right, so as you said, you've got
Yeah, I mean,
every
if they're gonna have
incentive to
something,
make this work.
I'm gonna have a significant talk with them when you come back.
Okay.
Ready to proceed? The findings of fact to Whereas on November 10th, 2016, the Arundel Planning Board received a conditional use application renewal from Sargent Corporation for proposed conditional use permit renewal on an existing 5-acre mineral extraction operation located at 346 Thompson Road, tax map 20 lot 7 in the R4 district. Whereas on December 10th, 2016, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a site walk of the proposed activity project site, whereas on December 12th, 2017, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a public hearing on the proposed renewal. Findings of fact, number 1, the owner of the property is John and Diana Kimball. Number 2, the applicant is the Sargent Corporation. Number 3, the property is located on the Alfred Road and is identified as Arundel Assessors Map 20 lots 7 and 8 and Map 7 lot 3. Number 4, the property is approximately 78 acres in size with approximately 560 feet of frontage on the Alfred Road and is located in the R4 zoning district. Number 5, in 1991, the applicant received approval for a mineral extraction operation on the premises. Approval has been renewed periodically since that time. Number 6, the area approved for extraction is approximately 4 to 5 acres in area. Only about 3 acres have been excavated to date. Number 7, the applicant has submitted a site and grading plan prepared by Sargent Corporation dated 8/22/07 with the revisions through to 6/10/10 showing recent regrading and excavation areas. Number 8, the applicant maintains a surety bond for $50,000 for reclamation of the pit. Conclusions. Number 1, 9.7.8.1, that the use is compatible with and similar to the general categories of uses of the neighboring properties. The planning board finds that the existing use and proposed expansion is a permitted conditional use in this district and is compatible with other similar uses in the R4 district. We have a motion to accept each one of these.
Yeah,
Motion has been made and seconded for 97H1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Number 2, 97H2. The use is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the anticipated future development of the neighborhood. The planning board finds that mineral extraction uses are permitted uses in the rural conservation district as outlined in the comprehensive plan, and that therefore the use is in fact in conformance with the 2007 comprehensive plan.
Move to accept?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for 97H2. Any discussion? All those in favor?
yeah.
Motion's unanimous. 97H3, that there is adequate and safe pedestrian and vehicular access to and into the site to accommodate anticipated traffic to and from the use. The planning board finds that the application is in conformance with the criteria of 97H3 in that the site is remote with no foot traffic and very little vehicle traffic. The MDOT traffic movement permit is in force and there is a paved apron at the entrance to protect the integrity of the Route 111 travel way.
Yeah,
You have to edit the Route 111 yet?
Yeah, it says Route 11.
That's where we come in.
No, it comes in on 111, not 11.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
yes.
Unanimous for 97H3. Number 4, 97H4, that there is adequate water supply and sewage disposal available to service the use. The planning board has found that the application meets the criteria of 97H4 in that the use does not require an on-site water supply or sewage disposal system and therefore has no impact upon these environmental concerns.
Move to accept?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for 97H4. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Number 5, 97H5, that there will be no noise, dust, odor, vibration, or smoke generated by the use that will adversely affect neighboring properties. The planning board has found that the application meets the criteria of 97H5, and that there has been very little excavation performed on the site, and the code enforcement officer has not reported any citizen complaints in the past 3 years.
Move to accept.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for 97H5. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Number 6, 97H6, that the physical characteristics of the site include location, slope, soils, drainage, and vegetative cover, and are suitable for the proposed use. The planning board has found that the application meets the criteria of 97H6, and that the slopes are improved.
Still doesn't read right.
What's that, in that the slopes are improved at the original plan?
And, I think it's maybe an and in there, and then that the original.
And at the original
Well,
plan,
no.
Yeah.
and all drainage is diverted into the pit area. All standards in 97H6 are met.
Okay. Move to approve with that.
What's the, all slopes are stabilized following the original plan or what?
No, it's just on the slope side, in accordance with the original.
Just,
Question.
The improvement was that you had graded back. Originally, you had some heavy slopes and they were cut back. Yeah, you cut back the grading.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah, no.
Where, or does it need to be put in that the new planting scheme is going to be implemented?
we should put that as
That
a
will be
condition.
in the conditions.
Okay, just asking, I mean, as we're
Right,
reading
yeah.
here,
A good point.
So, how you proposing that should read, Ted?
In conformance with.
That the slopes are in conformance with the original plan.
Okay.
Okay.
And that the slopes are in conformance with the original plan and all drainage is diverted into the pit area.
Okay.
Okay.
yes.
I move we accept.
Okay, motion has been made
Second.
and seconded to accept the revision. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Yep.
It's unanimous. Number 7, 97H7, that the use will not constitute a public or private nuisance. The planning board has found that the applicant meets the criteria of 97H7, and the code enforcement officer has not reported any citizen complaints in the past 3 years.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Is this the appropriate place to include the requirement for the buffer?
Could be one.
No, that'll be under the decision, that'll probably become number 5.
Okay.
Motion been made and seconded for 97H7. All those in favor?
Yep.
It's unanimous. 97H8, that all other requirements and applicable provisions of this ordinance, particularly any pertinent performance standards, are met. The planning board has found that the application meets the criteria of 97H8, and that all submissions by the applicant are in compliance with and meet the performance standards.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve. Any discussion?
And who seconded that one?
Marty.
Marty? All those in favor?
Yep.
Unanimous. The decision, based on the above facts and conclusions, the Arundel Planning Board approves renewal of the conditional use permit for Sargent Corporation to continue operation of a 5-acre mineral extraction operation located at 346 Thompson Road, tax map 20, lot 7, in the R4 district, contingent upon the following conditions. Number 1, hours of operation will be limited to Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Number 2, the applicant shall maintain a $50,000 surety bond naming the town of Arundel as the insured for the period of this permit. Number 3, the applicant shall install the proposed buffer berm 25 foot wide and a minimum 6 foot high buffer strip on the plans dated 7/3/2007 with revisions to 12/7/16 between the gravel pit and the property identified as map 7 lot 3A and submit a letter from the owner, Jennifer Corthell, permitting the buffer reduction from 100 feet to 25 feet. Double staggered row of 3 to 4 foot high Pinus strobus, Pinus sylvestris, or Pinus nigra shall be planted 10 feet, 10 feet, I thought 15, shall be planted 15 feet on center along the top of the proposed berm. Any plant material that dies during the term of this permit must be replaced. Number 4, this permit shall expire on October 24th, 2019. Is there anything that we need to add to that?
Well, I thought you can delete the
Right.
letter from Ellen.
Right.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
you're right.
Take out
We were gonna take out,
Lot 3A.
take out everything after lot 3A to the end of that sentence.
yes, question for you,
Yeah,
for
but-
Chair. It says hour operation, it says Monday 7 AM to 6 PM. At this time of the year, if they were doing it, turn out it would be in dark, I mean, daylight, usually that would be daylight hours.
I think this is the way we had it.
I know, I'm just
Yeah,
just throwing that out as a.
it's a good point, because it's barely daylight at 7 right now.
Correct. But I'm just using that like, because it's like 4:30,
But I think one of the reasons that we
that's a
restricted it back
normal
to 6
operation,
was,
working time.
yeah, so that in the summertime, it's not being run at 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Okay? Yes, Jim.
Just for my education, the surety bond is supposed to be, someone else said reclamation, what is the surety bond for?
To cover, when the mineral operation is all done, they have to reclaim the pit, reseed it, and make sure that this stuff grows, and that's to cover that being done if for some reason Sergeant does not.
Okay. How long have we been using 50,000 for this permit?
Since 1991.
No, I think we updated it.
You
We
updated
updated-
2,000.
Yeah,
Before that, I think it was
2000
20,000.
Yeah.
Because it was like
Yeah.
10 or 20, and then you boosted it.
Yeah, we went back.
I'm asking partly because of your comment about tens of thousands of dollars for the trees. Kind of,
No, but I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and buy, the 10 to 15 footers, like you were talking about, I mean, those get pretty.
that's not what you, you,
I see where you're going, but I don't know the answer to the question.
I don't know the answer to the question either.
Is $50,000 a reasonable amount for to reclaim that? The reclamation of the pit? Is that?
That was based on sloping the sides and spreading the topsoil and seeding it. We have the topsoil is on site. The majority of the slopes are already sloped. We leave it that way.
For drainage.
For drainage and, prohibit any erosion and safety. So, yeah, I would say that $50,000 is more than adequate to go in there and close that out.
Is there any need for groundwater monitoring wells or anything like that for this kind of, would you
No,
close this kind of
it's-
operation?
No, because everything is internally drained. We're not excavating into the water table where normally in gravel pits you do groundwater monitoring. If you had that, or if you had, some other type of exposure into the water table, there's nothing there.
Okay, and I just, for the record, can I ask that 3 years from now, we have a little, some backup as to what the dollar amount should be.
Well, I would certainly make it part of the condition, you have to do an evaluation of the bonds amount in 3 years.
When did you say the last one was updated?
2,000.
It was 2007 was the last one.
The last bond? Or revision to the,
The upgrade from 10,000,
To the surety?
20,000
Okay.
to 50,000 was in 2007. That was,
So we'd
And
be
if
talking
you
about
see the-
2019.
right,
12 years later, so yeah.
and it was based on the same plan. So it was based on this exact same plan. The limits of the excavation for this plan haven't changed in terms of the total, the build-out or the closeout limits of this. So it
And
was
that's-
based on that.
that's 12 years from the last time we reviewed it, I
12
think
years,
that's fair.
probably time for another assessment.
Okay, so for condition number 2, the applicant shall maintain a $50,000 surety bond, naming the town of Arundel as the insured for the period of this permit. This bond shall be reviewed prior to,
During
The adequacy of this dollar amount will be
Yep.
reviewed prior to the next review.
okay.
Now, through chair, did you want to add anything about the new buffer as part of the condition?
It's in here, it's number 3.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Now, the only other thing in the condition, I don't know if we had talked about it, I thought I heard during the conversation back and forth with the applicant that trees could be planted at 15 feet on center,
Right,
using
yes.
the larger ones? Okay.
Yeah, we changed that one. And we went from double staggered 4 to 5 to double staggered 3 to 4.
Okay.
And it's gonna be 15 feet on center.
If you guys want to go closer, that's your business.
Do you like?
I don't think you should go any closer
No, I
than
don't
10
think-
foot if you're
Yeah, I
planting
think
white
they're
pine.
gonna grow in.
That's
Yeah.
a mistake.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
I'll move,
approved by the Arundel Planning Board.
and I will move that we approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the renewal of the permit. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Okay.
It is unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Skip, when you can get me a Mylar,
2 Mylars,
way to go.
and I have 1 printed copy that has the raised stamp on it.
Oh, good.
Okay, the stamp wouldn't come through on the Mylars.
Okay.
So he wrote his name and the license number, but this does have a raised copy.
Get that signed again.
There are two copies, if I get one back at some point. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
3 years.
Item number 2, Lovejoy subdivision, preliminary major subdivision review. A proposal to develop 3 single-family residential lots on an 1,100-foot-long private way on a 5.31-acre parcel located at 295 Wilbur Road, tax map 28, lot 6, in the R1 district. Owner of the applicant is Peter Lovejoy, and Paul Gadboy, P.E., is the applicant's agent. Do we have the findings of fact to waive that, for the waiver of that, stormwater management plan?
I think, no, the board, I think, has to come up with that.
Looking at, you notes, Tad, on the hydrogeological assessment,
Yeah,
wasn't clear, did the study show that it didn't meet the standards?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, Wood and Kern did a review of it. I'd say if there's a problem, just do me a report. If there isn't, don't do a report. Just gonna send me an email, and they send me an email and say we concur with the results of Stonehill, concur with the methodology, and concur with the results. They ran the same numbers and came up with the
Same
same
thing,
conclusion.
okay, good.
They did the same plots and did the same thing, so they said, no changes, it works, so. It's the standard.
On the stormwater management, the waiver, I wasn't forced to, but there was one letter from at least one abutter that was questioning the wisdom of that. I'm not sure if we have any more information on that.
I think I think when you did the preliminary approval, you basically, had accepted that the drainage system as proposed by the applicant was sufficient, and that a stormwater management plan was not necessary for the site, and that was after the public hearing.
Right.
I think all you have to do the findings of fact is just basically say that because of the conditions, existing site conditions of the wetlands and the existing characteristics of the site, the fact that the water is, basically all the runoff is going into the wetlands and the wetlands are channelized and contained, discharging eventually to Kennebunk River that was determined was not going to have a deleterious impact. Any amount of runoff, additional runoff was not going to have a deleterious impact upon existing systems in the wetland. Therefore, the board determined that it wasn't necessary to conduct a stormwater management study. If that's all it has to do, but I mean, it's up to you folks how you want to word that, but that's the.
Yeah, somebody would have to do that, I wasn't at the public hearing.
Well, essentially, from what I remember of the public hearing, and that meeting, this decision was made at a meeting back in the summer.
That's correct, it was on the July 15th.
Right. So, we've got to go back in our recollection really to that meeting and any discussion that occurred there. I mean, which I agree in looking at the plans with Tad's, the July assessment and Tad's characterization of it, so.
The letter from the abutter, the abutter in question is upstream of the property, not downstream.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is kind of a significant difference.
Yeah.
Although, we talked about it, and it is possible to have a
Back
negative
out,
impact on an upstream parcel.
There
That's
was
where-
one from him.
I thought it was him.
One from, no, the letter was from, or the testimony was from him.
Okay, I'm sorry. She's not upstream.
No, she's not. That's all raised land, it's all filled land.
This is,
Yes.
so,
And
How
these are
would-
the applicants.
how would this, I understand, how would the stormwater impact that property?
The 100-year storm, I don't know, it would have to rise significantly. But it would have
And,
to down significantly down there.
yeah.
to prevent anything from going. Because I think, I don't know what the elevation is here, but again, an elevation of 18-inch culvert coming into the ditch there at 77.74.
You're not very slow in the way.
And we got, well, we got the elevation here, their houses at 80, and then here where the wetland is, we got an elevation of 78, so you got at least 1 foot freeboard there. Just in there, 18 inches freeboard. I don't know, and that's at the edge,
Right.
that's in the ditch, I don't know how much it goes up, we don't have any data. Paul, did you have any, see a contour going in there, there's 76, did you, we're talking about Gorman property?
Whose property?
Gorman property, the out parcel on Liberty Road?
Street.
No,
No.
right in the center of the, right, your fingers almost on.
I don't have the boundary search.
It's right there.
Go ahead.
It's right there.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it appears that 76 contour cuts in right in that back
Cuts in.
corner of the
Right.
lot, so that's about as low as it appears.
Or less than 4 feet, around there, I put that in.
Yeah, because we got, well, if you look, you see 78, see 78 contour there, that's 76. The inlet elevation of the culvert, discharge elevation of the culvert, 77.74 on the property right from the town road. But you know, it wasn't further investigated because the board came to the conclusion that even after the abutters testimony, the board did not instruct the applicant to do a stormwater assessment and did proceed to approve their preliminary application. So, I'm just talking about cleanup here. Because you've already made your decision on this.
One questions I had.
I don't have any further.
The staff brought up the question of some sort of performance bond. What the board had talked about was, special circumstances are that the applicant himself is going to be doing some of the work, has the equipment necessary to do the work. And he requested that we not require any performance bond of any kind, and there was discussion about simply making it a condition that there wouldn't be any building permits until the private way was completed, inspected and completed, and with satisfaction of the town. But staff have recommended or suggested some kind of performance bond. What do the rest of you guys think?
I think that a performance bond is warranted under almost any circumstance. We've seen issues in the past where we have not gotten a performance bond and we have run into problems. So I think that because of past history, nothing with Mr. Lovejoy, but because of past history, I think it becomes incumbent upon us to say, yeah, we do need to have a performance bond of some kind. Particularly when I look at this, I think we've got an 1,100-foot long road that has to go in. That's a long road. I think it's great that he was able to get a cost estimate of less than $60,000 to do it. But I think that we should get some kind of a performance guarantee for whatever that figure was. I believe it was, what, $52,000 or something like that?
I believe so.
then I think we should have a performance bond, so the $52,000, either a cash bond, a letter of credit, or something that will cover that.
Why would the performance bond need to be the full cost of the improvements and not?
Because that's what we've always asked for in the past.
Rich,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't believe you were here when Dan Rush was attending the last meeting, and the board agreed that we would pay 3% of the cost. I have a letter from Dan Rush outlining that agreement, and that amount was, Tad, I think you were aware of that as well. The amount was $1,700. It's a 3% deposit.
Yeah, I can't accept that.
On the
I
slope.
can't do inspection for $1,700 for an 1,100-foot road. To be honest with you.
That was just for
I
slope.
can't.
Dude.
But it was agreed upon.
No, it
We were
wasn't.
here.
No, it wasn't. What the board says, the board did say, in fact, that they would accept the provision that you could, in fact, do. The board had indicated that they would be amenable to you having a condition where you could not sell any lots until you
Correct.
completed the project.
Correct.
And I asked for the cost estimate for the purposes of figuring out what the inspection fee could be.
Correct.
And the inspection fee of 3% of that amount of money that you came up with is not suitable. I can't do that work for that amount of money. I
So
can't get an engineer
When
on
did
the
this,
site.
I mean, we're being told tonight at final that you need $53,000.
The board has brought this subject up.
We brought this up
This was already
a long
addressed.
time ago. And everybody agreed.
I thought that one of the conditions that the planning board has, and it's one of the three criteria of whether or not we can get a subdivision approved, and I know 11 comes directly out of the ordinance, says,
Right.
as a condition of approval, no lots shall be shown until all required improvements have been constructed, or the owner developer shall enter into a binding agreement with the municipality and New York other financial performance guarantees, that no lot shall be sold until it's certified by the board or its agent, that all the required improvements have been made, installed according to the regulations. So this comes right out of the ordinance. It's one of the
Correct.
three ways that you guys give as a mechanism for people to actually move forward with the project. We want to go forward with that mechanism. It is one of the three choices that the board or the ordinance gives us.
Gives the board.
It's the board.
It's the board's decision.
And I understand that, well, I'm not so sure it's just a board decision. It's one of the three choices that we have to choose from in order to move forward. It's not necessarily the board's decision, it's our decision whether or not we want to choose 3, 2, or 1. We're electing to go with the third option because that's, unfortunately, that's what the client's financial capabilities are in order to make this work.
Question, are we